Welcome back to English Made Interesting. Today we'll discuss the poem A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. About the poet. John Keats was an English romantic poet belonging to the second generation of romantic poets along with Lord Byron and P.B. Shelley. Although his poems were not generally well received by critics during his lifetime, his reputation grew after his death, and by the end of the 19th century, he had become one of the most beloved of all English poets. He had a significant influence on a diverse range of poets and writers. The outline of the poem. A Thing of Beauty is an excerpt from Keats' first epic poem, Endymion, a poetic romance. The poem is based on a Greek legend in which Endymion, a young shepherd and a poet who lived on Mount Latmos, had a vision of Cynthia, the moon goddess. The enchanted youth resolved to seek her out and so wandered away through the forest and down under the sea. The theme of the poem is nature, beauty, and youth. Keats loved beauty to the extent that he almost worshipped it. This excerpt voices the poet's eternal love for beauty. Now, over to the explanation of the poem. Stanza 1. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. The poet speaks of the permanent nature of beautiful things which give us eternal joy. Their loveliness keeps on increasing and never fades away. The everlasting beautiful sight of beautiful things is stored in our memory. They give us peace, just like a quiet shady place gives us a sleep full of sweet dreams. A sound sleep results in the good health of our body and mind, as it provides us tranquility and mental peace. Stanza 2. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth. Spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and overdarkened ways made for our searching, yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits. When we wake up the next morning after a sound sleep, all the beautiful memories of our sweet dreams help us to strengthen our bond with earth. That is why the poet feels that every morning we prepare a wreath of flowers that binds us to earth more strongly. Hopelessness, sadness, and lack of noble ways are a part of human life. Life is full of trials and tribulations, lost faith and disappointments which result from our own doings. We harm ourselves by following unhealthy and wicked paths. But in spite of all this, some wonderful sights of nature help us to shed sad and grim thoughts. They remove the veil of gloom, bringing about hope and optimism in our lives. Stanza 3. Such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon, for simple sheep, and such are daffodils with the green world they live in, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make. 'Gainst the hot season the mid-forest brake, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. The poet now goes on to list these objects of beauty. He says that the sun, the moon, old and young trees which provide shade to sheep, the daffodils, the greenery surrounding them, the cool and clear streams which provide respite in the heat of summer, and the bushes growing in the forest with musk roses blooming amidst them are all eternal sources of joy and pleasure. Stanza 4. And such too is the grandeur of the domes we have imagined for the mighty dead. All lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink, pouring unto us from the heavens' brink. The poet adds on further to his list. According to him, there is a beauty even in death. He finds beauty in imaginary stories people have made about our dead ancestors who were deemed as heroic and mighty. The poet goes on to say that all the lovely tales that we have heard can also be placed among such things of beauty, as they have a sublime effect on the human spirit. All beautiful things are like an endless fountain from the heavens, sent by God Himself, so that mankind may enjoy these precious gifts.